it's our house anniversary, and so that's just really hard.
Sorry.
Hey YouTube.
Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am back with another YouTube video.
Good evening.
And today is our house anniversary, which is why I decided for this video I may as well introduce my housemates. You've seen them briefly in our previous video, and today I thought you could get to know them, and we're going to do some truth or drink questions, whereby if you don't want to answer the question, you take a shot. And we've got some tequila because tequila is party and it's also quite grim, so hopefully it motivates us all to answer the questions as much as we possibly can. Okay, so the first question is, what is your love language? And we're going to go in this order again.
So me first.
Yeah.
So I'd say my love language is probably spending quality time with people.
Aww. Sweet.
This is news to me because I just googled it 5 minutes ago, but apparently it's words of affirmation. So if you're interested, then that's it.
I can see that. I can see that. He likes having his ego stroke. My love language is quality time. I like quality time.
Oh, that's sweet.
Is that quality time with the person that you love or your family?
In anyone, because I think love language gets applied to like your friends, it gets applied to your family, it gets applied to your partner. So I think it could apply to anyone really.
Do you love your family?
Obviously.
That's nice.
I've not actually looked at my love language, but I probably would think it's food, drink and spending quality time with people.
So quality time, yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's a fairly common
I'm quite a
one.
nice person like that. I've
Yeah.
got time for people.
Well, you're gonna have to take the quiz later and we'll actually find out what it really is. Sometimes we think it's one thing and then it's...
What would you say I am?
What would I say you are?
Acts of
Acts of
service.
service.
Yeah. What does that mean?
Do you
So
love
it's like you
access?
doing things for people, but you like people doing things for you as well.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, but I think it, yeah, I see it. I can see it. I can see it.
Okay.
Right. Let's move on to the next one. So the next question is, what is the oldest / youngest you'd ever date?
I'd say probably the youngest is 18, and then the oldest is probably 59. What's wrong with that?
Nothing. You do your boo. 59 is cute, isn't it?
Yeah,
If she's rich.
wise woman, isn't it?
Experienced. Go on, Harry.
The youngest is definitely not as low as Nathan, because I think at that age you're still doing university and everything. It's just almost a different life, isn't it? But you know, or you're at a different stage. For me, it's probably the youngest would be 21,
Okay.
22, and then the oldest would probably be like 35, as long as she's nice.
As long as she's nice, we all know where you're going. I think for me, youngest would probably be 25, to be honest. I don't think I could get any lower than 25. Unless, I don't know, I guess he looks way older than maybe 24 at a push. And oldest, I think, would be 40. Yeah, 40.
That rules you, I think.
What happens if he has baggage? Or is that another
Under his eyes?
consideration?
Well, that's the thing. There's like so many factors that would play into it. But if someone's 40 and he's got his life together and he looks good, yeah,
You've got flat.
yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Nasty for.
For me, I think age is just a number. Obviously, I'm not.
So no limit.
Any
No
years.
limit.
Tell that to the jury, yeah?
20 is the lowest.
20 is the lowest. Okay, yeah.
And then the highest. I mean, you can still be a nice female when you're like 45. I quite like a mature lady.
You do.
Yeah.
You do. I thought your upper limit was going to be higher.
Well, I don't know, maybe 50 then.
Yeah.
I'm not going to put a number on it.
60 judge.
I'm not going to put a number on it.
What would make you immediately swipe left? So on a dating app, what would like, straight away?
Does that mean no?
Yeah, yeah. But also decide if you want to answer that question.
I'd say something that's quite naturally like hateful.
How do you get that on an app?
Well, if they're just kind of like when they just say, oh, like, what's one thing you should know about me? People are like, oh, I could never go out with somebody who watches like EastEnders or anything. Like, why would you want to put that on your profile? Why would you want to be like someone who never?
It's just straight
For me, I'll be straight up. It's usually just a physical attraction thing. Like if you don't find them attractive to you from a picture, then
Go on, honest answer.
that's not what you want. So
If they're not my
I'll
type.
admit if they're not my type, I will just swipe left.
Fair enough. I think for me, apart from that, because I think that's probably everyone, but apart from that, I think it's if he only has one picture. I immediately think that's a catfish. I'm like, oh, catfish.
For me, it's probably if there are photos of them with cats.
So the next question is, what's your most shallow reason for not going on a second date?
You know.
If you want, decide if you want to answer that. Actually, I didn't even give you guys a chance to decide, but.
I think I might drink on this one.
I think I've got my answer more and more.
Is it all of us?
Well, I don't dare.
Nope.
Oh, that's actually.
This question is, what do you think is a pro and con of us living together? So like, what's the pro and con of like our house? Decide if you want to answer.
So I think a massive pro has definitely been during self-isolation, just having 3 other people who can just bounce off and like who can pick you up when you're down, just kind of give you all round support and just generally just good social times, because a lot of people don't have that now, and it's something I'm really grateful for.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think con though as well, just like that same reason, maybe just kind of all living together, and especially in peak lockdown, just kind of being really trapped together, and I think we're all quite social creatures and we all like our space, so yeah, sometimes it's just naturally step on each other's toes, but
Yeah.
I was out frequently though, being a key
What
word.
about George? Can we?
on the front
It's
line.
Harry's go.
Having the people to live with the same age as you is just like naturally nice to have company, and I think you can still have a degree of like fun even in lockdown.
Yeah.
And the
And the
negative,
con.
like Ned said, naturally when you live in close proximity to people and you know every day, then you know you appreciate people's different kind of mood, not mood swings, but you know naturally people are going to have their own, you know. No, you know, everybody has their
I
type.
think the pro is that I'm very grateful that upon like moving to London, because obviously like when we moved in together, little did we know lockdown was right around the corner. So I'm just grateful that I knew the people I lived with in terms of being locked in with them. The con for me is, I think probably it's obvious to everyone, being the only girl is a little bit difficult, because I think there's just certain needs that I get from my female friends that you male friends can't always fulfill. But that's not.
I don't think we're bad.
But that's what I'm saying though. I'm not saying you're bad. I'm a girly girl, so it's kind of like
In this context,
in
yeah.
this context, yeah, I definitely felt that, you know, difference and how it affected me. But I say that that's kind of like the major con, just being the only girl and like.
It's the farts and the burps, isn't it?
But also, generally, you're alright. The cons are... yeah, just getting on top of each other every now and then. I think as a whole, you do get on.
Oh, you just want to put a disclaimer in
No,
there? Things we said, we get along as a house. But I think that's the beautiful thing of it. We're so honest with each other. I mean, they've definitely been poking me about washing up, but but then it sounds like I'm not a tidy person. Like I'm not.
Sorry to break it to you. I'm joking.
Right. So the next question is, what is the one thing people misunderstand about you?
Shall I go first?
Yeah.
I think some of the words I say and the way I say things are very misunderstood sometimes. And I think when I try and help a situation, a lot of the time I can make it a lot worse. So I feel like I get misunderstood.
Fair. You feel like you get misunderstood in how you communicate?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
I think that the main thing that I get misunderstood about is I'm probably quite a sensitive soul. I think the way I react to things, like I will just like bat it off, but then in some instances I will be a bit like sensitive about it. But
Well,
I'm quite good at
hiding.
Yeah.
No, that's fine. That's absolutely fine. Like, because I talked about that in my first video. It's something that I had to confront in lockdown, and I've accepted and embraced. And I encourage you to do the same, because there's nothing wrong with being sensitive and thereby creating boundaries and communicating that. Because then it stops you from like exploding on people. Do you know what I mean? Like, it stops you from being silent and taking it, and then you're just like. Anyway, when it gets to you. So for me, I feel like the biggest misunderstanding for me is definitely when I want to like isolate myself, and I feel like I want to just take a distance from people. I feel like some people take it personally and don't understand that it's not that I dislike you or dislike spending time with you. It's not something you do.
I think people assume that I'm quite common just because I'm northern.
Oh. Yeah.
No, I think they do, yeah, and I think
What do you
that
common?
it's in that, well, to our international viewers, common means
Exactly! Explain to people who are not from the UK.
from maybe like a lower standing in society. Yeah. Yeah, that's, but then sometimes you pick up a phone to somebody when you're at work and people are like, oh, I appreciate how friendly you are. But yeah, no, I don't. People.
They don't expect you to be friendly.
No. Oh.
What's your most valuable lesson from lockdown? Go, Nathan.
I think most valuable lesson in lockdown is you cannot put too much pressure on yourself, and you can't have this toxic productivity mindset where you need to come out of it a completely better and more well-rounded person, and ultimately you've got to do as much as you can and look after yourself and kind of just figure out what's important to you and just, yeah.
I mean, either that's a rip-off of my first video, or you learned something from my first video.
Learned so much from the first video.
But it just sounds... Anyway, no, that's good. No, you don't have to change it.
I would say probably just be grateful for the things that you probably have, because I think the fact is that we're all very kind of lucky people in the sense that we've got a lot to be grateful for.
So I think for me, actually, no, you know what? I'm not even going to answer this question because I already have a whole video about it. So I'm going to move on to just.
So you're going to drink?
No, I'm not.
You're going to
No.
a shot. You're going to I might have one as well because I'm foxy.
It's salt.
Salt?
In Swedish.
There's two-
Salt is salt in
There's
Swedish.
2 limes in mine.
Okay.
Yamas, baby.
Bruh. Okay. I think my most valuable lesson in lockdown is I think I'm appreciating my family more and my friends more, and I've also appreciated like frontline shop workers and key workers. Like, people look after one another and I appreciate people like,
Sense of community.
community spirit,
I like that.
Good answer.
That is a really good
And I think
answer.
like when everybody was clapping at 8 o'clock on a Thursday.
Oh, you love those claps. I mean, I had that in my first
I
video.
know,
It
and
was
I-
banging the pan! Woo! Final question. Just need to check this. Yeah, go on then. Drum roll. How will this change the way you interact with people?
I will watch it.
What you learned in lockdown, like how you, as a person, the way you've developed, what you've learned, how is this going to affect how you interact with other people? So we're going to go from Nathan. Can you relax, Leo?
So I think lockdown will slowly make me realise that kind of just being more understanding of other people's situations and maybe just developing more tolerance and compassion, because a valuable thing I did learn in lockdown is actually kind of everyone experiences lockdown differently and maybe your way of expressing it isn't actually helpful to other people. So I think, yeah, at the end of it I just kind of be more like kind of just...
Do Do you mean like compassionate?
Perhaps, yeah, I think so. I don't really know
I'd
the
love to
words.
see you be more compassionate.
I would as well, yeah, they're really good.
No, I think again quite similar to Nathan's comment. I think
Should get
there's-
paid for
there's- well, we obviously think very similarly.
Yeah.
I think that there's a need to be just generally a bit kinder to people, and I think there's a need to just generally be a bit more kind of grateful for everything that you have, and you know, we're heading in the right direction, and things will be good times only.
Good times only, good vibes only. What's that? I think, I like that. My answer is essentially that I will just try and respect my relationship with myself a bit more, and like set up boundaries and respect them and not defy them. Just sort of having an understanding for who I am, and therefore understanding my relationship with other people a little bit better, and also just authentically and genuinely being myself at all times, which will allow me to establish deeper connections with my friends, and also recognise who actually are my friends and who like me for me compared to those who don't.
Mine is that I'll probably appreciate my friends and family more, whereas
That's nice, yeah.
I don't know, I'm getting so upset.
Oh.
You know, because I don't know, maybe I didn't appreciate it.
Oh, you're lovely.
Yeah, maybe I didn't appreciate my family as much.
Oh,
What are you doing to me?
I can't look in back.
It's just like,
Yeah,
I think you just think like you've been, you know, stuff like that.
actually, I kept talking about myself, but that's such a sweet answer. No, but I agree with George and what he said. But we need to close it. I actually want to say something though. Like, here's to a year of us being in lockdown when we didn't expect it.
Skull.
Oh God.
Thanks everyone for watching my YouTube video. I hope you enjoyed it, and shout out to my housemates for participating. I tried to make this video a little bit more different to my first one, but there's more to come, so like, comment, subscribe, you know the deal.